You're welcome back to the Cobit Foundation training class. We want to look at the intended audience of Cobit 2019 in this part 2 of the class. So the stakeholders to the governance of enterprise IT, I&T in Cobit are broken or divided into two. You have the internal stakeholders, then you have the external stakeholders. All right, the internal stakeholders are 6, the external stakeholders are 3. Okay, so starting with the board of directors is one of the internal stakeholders. Now, what is the benefit of Cobit to the board of directors? Okay, Cobit provides insights on how to get value from the use of I&T and explains relevant board responsibilities. Okay, so in Cobit, we have the 5 governance objectives in EDM01, the ensure governance, framework setting, and maintenance to EDM05, ensure stakeholder engagement. All these 5 objectives can actually help the board in knowing how to govern I&T properly in organizations. Okay, corporate governance, most of boards, they have very sound knowledge of how to go about it. But where a lot of boards are struggling is in that area of governance of enterprise I&T. So that will be one area where Cobit can actually assist boards of directors. Then we have the executive management. Cobit provides guidance on how to organize and monitor performance of I&T across the enterprise. Okay, for executive management, their job is to run with the strategy, right? Run with the policy, run with the direction that the board of directors have set. Okay, so executive management provides guidance on how to organize, how to monitor performance. So the APO objectives, all right, align, plan, and organize 01, manage I&T management framework, to APO 14, manage data. All those objectives in the APO domain can actually help the executive management on organizing and monitoring performance of I&T. Then we have the business managers. Business managers are very important to any Cobit implementer or designer. All right, most of the time Cobit implementers are from IT and sometimes from outside organizations, all right, the consultants. So you cannot stay in IT and implement Cobit on your own. So you need the business leaders, you need the HODs, you need the business managers to be able to, especially in process implementation, for example, you need the business managers. They are the ones that when you are doing capability, maturity, okay, capability levels, okay, it is, you are doing gap analysis. It is the business managers that you need to consult with in determining the state of the organization. So the business managers are very important for us in Cobit implementation. So Cobit can help the business managers to understand how to obtain the I&T solutions enterprise require and how best to exploit new technology for new strategic opportunities. So APO 01, just like for executive management, to APO 14, manage data can help. All right, in obtaining I&T solutions, BAI can also help. Okay, they build and acquire and they implement a domain or the objectives that are relevant for business managers. So a lot of their business managers are business, they are from business background. So you have the accountant. Now the accountant that read accounting university or in polytechnic now have to implement Oracle financials, all right, in his organization or implement Sage. So technology now needs to be infused into operations. So Cobit can actually help business managers in being able to deliver when there is a need to use technology to deliver the business value. Okay, so we also have, apart from these 3, the board, the executive management, and the business managers, we also have IT managers as internal stakeholders. And like I said, a lot of times the implementers will be coming from IT. So Cobit can help IT managers by providing guidance on how best to build and structure the IT department, manage performance of IT, run an efficient and effective IT operation, control IT costs, align IT strategy to business priorities. All right, so I'm a head of a data center or a CIO. Okay, I can actually use Cobit to set up IT operations. Right, remember your DSS. Okay, so a BAI, build, acquire, and implement, deliver service and support, especially those are technical domains that IT managers can actually use to set up IT operations. Then you have the assurance providers as also internal stakeholders. So these are the people that provide assurance on IT in the organization. Cobit will be of help for them. Okay, it helps to manage dependency on external service providers, get assurance over IT, and ensure the existence of an effective and efficient system of internal controls. All right, one of my first revelations, in Cobit is the fact that Cobit can be used as an audit tool. Okay, when I was studying the process aspect of the component. Of course, when you look at the process aspect of the component, you will see that process can be broken down into management practice. Management practice can be broken down into activities. All right, so and those activities also have capability levels that Cobit has assigned to them. So those activities can be used by an auditor to actually audit. You can turn those activities into audit questionnaires to check whether those activities are running or are in place in the auditing environment. So even the other components like the organizational structure, information, principal policies, and procedures, auditors can ask questions, competence, all right, people skills and competence, culture and behavior, all right. So all those components of the governance system can be used by assurance providers to determine whether the running of the organization is in line with best practice. So MEA, okay, 01 to MEA 04, managed assurance, they are very, very relevant objectives for assurance providers. Then you have risk management also as internal stakeholders. So Cobit can help them to ensure the identification and management of all IT-related risk. But luckily for us, we have APO 12 to manage risk as one of the objectives. So take note of the internal stakeholders, the boards, executive management, business managers, IT managers, assurance providers, and risk management. Then we have the three external stakeholders who are the regulators, business partners, and IT vendors. So the regulators, Cobit can help them to ensure the enterprise is compliant with applicable rules and regulations and has the right governance system in place to manage and sustain compliance. So virtually all the Cobit domains and Cobit governance and management objectives are relevant. So depending on the industry, the regulators need to look at which of the objectives, okay, the EDM objectives, the BAI objectives, the DSS objectives, the ME objectives. So look at all the APO objectives, look at all of them carefully and see which one to use in ensuring compliance in the target organization. Then, of course, you have the business partners, okay? You cannot run businesses alone, so you have to join hands with other business organizations, okay? But you don't want those business partners to become your attack surface as an organization. So Cobit can also help you as an organization, okay, and help the business partners also to ensure that the business partners operations are secure, reliable, and compliant with applicable rules and regulations. Luckily for us, we have APO 08, managed relationships, all right, as a relevant objective. Of course, there are so many other objectives, but this one specifically dealt with managed relationships. Then you have IT vendors also as external stakeholders. So there have been many cases online and in real life where attacks came through IT vendors. Okay, because the IT vendors are connected to your network, they have physical access to your environment, so they could be compromised. The operations of the vendors could be compromised, leading to compromise of the client's environment also. So Cobit helps to ensure that an IT vendor's operations are secure, reliable, and compliant with applicable rules and regulations. So we have APO 10 managed vendors, all right, which can actually an objective which can actually help to ensure that your IT vendor does not become a source of liability or threat to your operations. So in this part 2, I have looked at the intended audience of Cobit, both internal and external. If you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly do so. I will be producing the third part of this series in the next video. Thank you.